closer in the roundabout.
Closer!
Come hither.
Closer.
Okay. Wait for them. Steve, we got to wait for the monks. Nah.
I think I am the monks.
You are the monks. Is that all of us?
They're scattered around.
Shout if you're not here yet.
I'm not here!
And neither's my wife!
Well, that is true, actually. That's a very good point. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, bonfire boys and bells of Southover, welcome to our bonfire prayers. And a very special welcome to our visiting societies. Barkham was our second pioneer, say Barkham. Hailsham and their barrel muscle, thank you. Our Pentacle drummers, are you still here?
It's Heathfield, not Hailsham.
It says Heathfield, it doesn't say. Heathfield and our barrel muscle. Pass the test, well done. Our British Imperial Marching Band, stirring the souls. And for the first time, the Cabin's Beard. Hey!
And the drummers.
Special thank you to Small Builds and for Edward for our fine pulpit up here, which is fitting of the society. Now, welcome all and pray silence because tonight we join as a society. Part of my role is to remind you of why we are here and the importance of our traditions. To be able to do so is the greatest honour that I could have bestowed upon me. So if you are new to prayers, or this is your first time, then silence because this is emotional for us. This is important and a vital part of the night. Passions are deep-rooted here in Lewis. Family connections, history, community, as well as it being more fun than you can shake a fiery stick at. Now, I usually end with a special thank you, but I shall start with it this year. Thank you to each and every one of you who has contributed to the society this year. There are far too many to mention, but it ranges from things like making torches to sending out pyro merch, making badges, never ever getting the chips. Things to mention like driving, too many, and even some of our members enjoying making new members. Congrats to Alex Bex. And what I would say is, Venom, next Valentine's Day, find something good to put on the television. A special thank you to our Commander-in-Chief, Simon.
Hey!
And to Steve, wonderful Steve, the first pioneers. Hooray! Now, most of you in the society will know that this has been a tragic 2 weeks for many of us. Yes, someone in the tab team has broken rule 2. And it's right, but I wanted to know, and I do know fully, that that particular buccaneer would like me to deliver my usual sermon. So that's what you're going to get first. So, this year, in the year of the King's coronation, I have written to him, to King Prince Charles III. I've asked for his protection. And if he had a message that he could pass on to you all. Your Majesty, I said, nice hat. I'm a sucker for a nice hat. Your Majesty, may I ask for your protection? No, not for me and for all the explosives you throw at me, for that is an honour. But no, protection for us all. Now that I fear we are unguarded. Since the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have left these shores, I fear for the kingdom of the South Saxons now we are at risk. Does this threat come from the Vikings still? No. Does it come from Wessex? No. Does it come from Mercia, a temperate zone? No. Am I asking myself questions and then answering them like our politicians do to give some illusion of debate? Yes. Is this one of those questions? Yes. But generally there is a very real threat and one that poses a risk to diluting our traditions. So where is it from? The south? Is it a new threat where our borders are not properly controlled? As we keep being promised they will be, where our beautiful Sussex coastline of chalk, cliffs and shingle beaches meets the English Channel, where people may arrive by small boats? No, of course it's not! However, we are open to invaders from the east in Kent, from Surrey and Hampshire. All of which I fear are already making attempts to bring inferior quality ale made by multinational conglomerates. Lager, brewed under licence, is already happening in West Sussex. No! We must be on our guard, for I fear our independent brewing heritage could be diluted. Now, what was the response from the king, I hear you cry? I have some disappointing news.
What was the response from the king?
Hey! Well, unfortunately, I assume he has written back, but Alex here has not got to all my mountain of post of the usual fan and hate mail. So, in the meantime, I can only opine what I expect it would have said for you all. Dear subjects of Southover, let me express my gratitude to the priory monks for sheltering my ancestor Henry III in 1264, when he so bravely ran away from Simon de Montfort. I heard he enjoyed a rather nice turn of surprise and the pre-match entertainment. I wish you a splendid evening of festivities for your bonfire, although I hear the cliff is going steeply downhill.
Underwater.
It technically is. I ain't saying nothing. And as I've heard the common man in Sussex say, one isn't druv. You can't simply druv one. And God save me. Now, regarding saving the king, on this night 418 years ago, as His Majesty the King was set to open a new parliament, 70 barrels of gunpowder were discovered in the undercroft below the House of Lords. Now, I mean, I'm not the sort of person that goes around telling people how to do their jobs, but what a bunch of rank amateurs. It seems all that Guido and Catesby had to do was put on a high visibility tabard or jerkin, a builder's codpiece, and get a contract. Presumably no experience necessary, like PPE contracts. And just do some renovation work on the Houses of Parliament. All you have to do, use the government's recommended brand of concrete, sit back and wait, while they bring about their own crumbly downfall. But seriously, that plot was to overthrow our democracy, and tonight we keep a tradition alive that we are free to take these streets. And we are free to remember those that gave their lives for that freedom. Which brings me on to my main bishopy beef. And no, not the passive-aggressive signs around town saying, in Lewis, underlined, we bin our gum. No, last year during my address... Sorry, refill. It's getting dark up here, you can't tell. Last year, during my address, I had some feedback. Would you like to know what it was? Yes! And what it related to?
Crocs.
Right. I mentioned that the statue in the dripping pan, exonerable, stands for being able to live authentically yourself. I didn't make that up. It's what it's called. And someone shouted out to our fireside team, I didn't come here for this woke shit. Yeah, you heard me right. Living authentically as yourself in the context of what we remember tonight. The needle on my irony meter broke, and I nearly spilt some of my Harveys. Wouldn't want the name dropsy, Martin. Over 400 years ago, people just like you and me were burnt to death outside the Old Star Inn, including 10 on one day, the single largest burning of people in English history, for believing something to what the monarch at the time did. So if you're thinking tonight, I didn't come here for this woke shit, if that's you, I reckon we got 3 choices. 1, don't come here. Simple. That's efficiency. 2, come here, enjoy it. You're very welcome. Listen and learn what we actually do. 3, we test the theory. You come up here and tell me something that you believe in, like, I don't know, what colour you think unicorn poo is, right? If Alex happens to think it's something else, I guess we just burn you to death in the roundabout. A little too much, or I'm going to be a little controversial here, And I respect your right to have a completely different opinion. And I'm going to go with burning people to death, not really a good thing. I'm even going to go so far as to say suboptimal for a functioning society. So we're agreed, right? Burning people to death, not a good thing. It turns out people freezing to death is okay. Only this morning, the government wants to pass an act where it will be illegal for charities to give out tents for free to homeless people. So if that won't do as you, go back to your towns without traditions and don't tell your friends that that bloke in the very fetching hat is a snowflake, because in Lewis there are a load of tolerant, free-thinking people, and it's more like a mother-flipping avalanche. And this is on the side of the deadliest avalanche in English history, so you can stick that in your pub quiz pipe and smoke it.
Yes!
Now, lastly, I made a light reference earlier about the boats, the small boats, as referenced in our amazing tableau. Tonight, as a society, we pay tribute at both of our war memorials. We pay tribute to those that lost their lives to protect our freedom. And when I hear the term small boats, I think of one bloke in my family. The only bloke with my name that lived long enough for me to meet him. Just once. My great Uncle Wal, a little frail old man. Hang on. So, he's not like 10'4". I just realised I'm up on a wall, right? He was 5'2". And a little frail old man who managed to run, jump on the back of a lorry and make it to a beach called Dunkirk. He stayed there for 3 days until he was rescued. He and thousands of troops were saved by small boats. Hundreds of small boats, flotillas from even places like Newhaven, just along the coast. Getting off that beach from Dunkirk, there were ships from Britain, Belgium, France, the Netherlands, Canada and Poland, all working together to save people so that they could fight another day against the Great Depression, which he did up through Italy. Now, I can't be entirely sure, but a hunch is his comrades didn't give up their lives to fight for us to become intolerant. I am proud that Bonfire enjoys and embodies the spirit of friendship, welcoming and community. Now that community is just incredible, and the last 2 weeks have shown for many of us just that. So, regarding friendship and community, it would be remiss of me not to pay a special mention to a particular friend. Now, it's okay, but please, most of you know, but not all of you will. And if you are visiting, you might not. That last Tuesday, we tragically lost Darren, a key member of our wonderful Bonfire family. He was a wonderful tab team member, committee member, and just about everything else. And when I say we lost him, I mean he tragically died. He was a buccaneer, so saying we lost him might give the impression he's stumbling around Tortuga somewhere still looking for treasure while we all rode off for some rum. So we didn't lose him, but the world lost a truly wonderful man. And it's got to be said, a very handsome buccaneer. So I'm going to pay tribute to Darren, but I'm not going to be a miserable soft git because there's plenty of time for that. And I think Darren would have liked us to raise a smile for him tonight. So, I will tell you a few things about him. He's a Bonfire boy and a Sussex boy through and through. We were surprised when researching our family history to find out that both of our great-grandfathers served in the Royal Sussex Regiment together in the Great War. He had a lovely laugh and a cheeky sense of humour. And this year we were discussing Bonfire history together. Steve quite rightly pointed out that in the late 1800s, the High Chancellor, or Lord Chancellor of Southover, was heralded into prayers by a bugler. So I said to Darren, can you play the bugle, being the musical man? And he said, no. But I bloody will, and really badly. Think proper Monty Python. And we chatted about it last Sunday as we sang sea shanties together. We were going to sing more sea shanties, form a group called Ship-Faced Shipmates. That couldn't be further for the truth because he was the best of mates to so many people who loved him and he loved. So next year, I would like to be heralded in by a member of the society as a bugler, but someone to play it very badly. So each of us here tonight will know and just have a little chuckle that it was him. So before we all totally lose it, here are my 5 summary things that you should know about Darren. 1, he loves Sussex. 2, he loved Bonfire. 3, he loved Tab and one very special member of the Tab team above everything else. 4, he hated Pretty Patel. 5, his beard was completely immune to sarcasm. So as Darren knew well, there ain't no place like Sussex until you goes above. And Sussex will be Sussex. And Sussex won't be So, ladies and gentlemen, Bonfire boys and bells, please join me in the appropriate verse 3 of Sussex by the Sea and 1 chorus before handing over to Alexis. Sometimes your feet are weary, sometimes the way is long, sometimes the day is dreary, sometimes the world goes wrong. But if you let your voices sing, your cares will fly away, and we'll sing you a song as we march along of Sussex by the sea. All together now. Good old Sussex by the sea. Good old Sussex by the sea. You can tell that we stand or fall for Sussex by the sea. Sussex by the sea, good old Sussex by the sea. You can tell them all that will stand or fall for Sussex by the sea.
So this is
Quiet, please!
It's never the present part of Bonfire, but we have, for many years, celebrated our glorious dead. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Darren.
See the red line all that. Those are all bangers. They're gonna like that shit in a second.
I have a roll here.
Shit, they're gonna like this shit.
Keep coming.